lovelies. So, you know, I think it's important to talk about depression and my own experiences with it, and hopefully how my experiences can help out others who are or have dealt with depression. And I always want to use my platform to be able to talk about these subjects, even though this is a channel always about, literally in the title, making people smile. There are sometimes I feel like we need to talk about more difficult subjects that should be addressed more often and should be more commonplace for a lot of people to understand. So I have been taking a break for a good bit because I was dealing with a lot of emotional and mental difficulties with myself for a couple weeks, and it got to the point where I felt like I completely shut down. I was like crying every day. I didn't feel like I could even like emote at all. Like I just felt completely blank. Everything just felt blank, and it was just like difficult to like be motivated or like inspired to do anything. And especially what's going on right now in the world, I feel like that just made it worse. That constant feeling of feeling trapped, and that's something that it just hasn't been fun whatsoever. And at that time I needed to just like unsocialize myself from like everything. I'm still trying to fully recover. Like I'm way better than before. I'm just finding new ways to like keep myself positive, keep myself happy, and I've been drawing a lot more again. I've been watching a couple of animes. I feel like that actually really hit close to home, and what I've been like feeling basically. I recently what did I watch? Yeah, recently I watched all of Paranormal Agent, and now I'm watching Serial Experimental Lane, and I don't know, those two shows right now are like really resonating with me right now, and like those kind of shows just, I don't know. It's one of those shows I'm like, I feel kind of connected to it, so I've just been taking my time to really just find myself again and just like not be in a miserable state again. I can't even remember if this time around was worse than the last time I took a hiatus, which was the beginning of like, no, it was in February or March that I went on another hiatus because of mental health issues. And I want to take this moment to really just talk about what depression and these types of feelings of keeping it in, because that is what I've been doing for so long. And I want to be comfortable with being honest with everybody, but with people, and you don't know you don't know who you can really trust, and or how they can take you seriously. Like, I've come to realize that what I feel, it's not a bother to anybody. Like, no matter what, I don't think anyone ever should feel like what they're feeling, it never should ever feel like a bother. What you feel, no matter what it is, you should feel valid, and you shouldn't feel like a burden to anybody, because that's what I felt for such a long time. And me being here just showing how much this hurts, it's never good to keep that all in. And I understand for a lot of times you try to tough it out so that we don't worry people, but in the end it hurts you more. It hurts you more, and it's not a bad thing to show that you're sad, that you're just kind of fed up. It's not a bad thing, and it's something that I had to deal with for so long, and I don't want anyone else to go through what I did. And it literally affects you. It affects you mentally and physically. And I don't want that for anyone else. I generally don't want anyone to go through what I did. To constantly feel like what you say doesn't matter. What you feel and what you say does matter. Because any kind of feeling is valid, and what you're feeling should be comforted. You should always have a shoulder to be there with. It's okay to realize that you can't do this alone. It's okay that you're kind of just fed up and you just need to vent it out with somebody. Like, I've had the most difficulty realizing that for such a long time, and I want to be more open with people, and I want to be able to cry like this in front of people, because there have been so many times in which I wanted to cry, but I've been afraid that I would ruin the mood or do anything that would make anyone uncomfortable. But you should really realize that what you feel, what makes you comfortable, you should be able to let these feelings out. It should be able to make you feel more comfortable. And I understand you want to, talk to people that you're more comfortable with. That's what I've been doing. I've been just talking to people that I feel that I'm comfortable with. And I know people that say that they're okay, or that everything is fine even though they're upset. Like, please, just, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be open about your struggles. Keeping that inside literally does so much harm to you. You shouldn't hold all that in, because it will affect you in the worst way possible. It affects me in the worst way possible. It'll make you feel worthless. It'll make you think about all these things that you should never think about yourself. You should be able to feel that whatever you feel is valid, and whatever anyone feels they think is valid 100%. And I can't bear to think anyone else going through the things that I went through, and I want people to be open. The world is scary, and people can be scary, but I don't want anyone to just spiral down like I have. And I know we all have been going through a lot, especially what's going on right now. And I sincerely don't want anyone to feel alone, and especially all their struggles that people are going through. Because I want people to be able to be closer to people and not be afraid of people. I want that for myself too. I'm a ridiculous romantic, but I've never been in a relationship because I've been so scared of being more open about my personal struggles. And I realized for the longest time that I've been a hypocrite to myself. I always tell people that they can tell me everything, but for me, I'm always afraid to tell people how I feel. And I understand that it's like that for a lot of people, and I want to be able to break down, and I want people to realize, just without saying a single word, how I feel, whether it's joy or sorrow, and all of that is valid, or how frustrated you are. And I've been trying to work the hardest to be able to fully 100% be okay again. And stuff from 2 years ago, I feel like I finally got closure for, something that legitimately put me in this state. Because what happened those 2 years ago made me think that I was an awful person, and it's not something I want to get into. It's personal things, but I was able to finally get closure for it, not realizing that was what I needed. And I hope whatever you went through, I hope all of you were able to get closure for the things that hurt you or made you think differently from yourself that wasn't true. And I want all of you to just be okay. I don't want anyone to be hurt. I don't want anyone to go through what I did. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset about all those things. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to just let it out and just not keep it all in. Like, it's so important to get out what you feel. And even if it's hard, and even if some people think it's a nuisance, that doesn't matter. Those types of people don't matter. If they can't realize what you feel is valid, then those types of people should be out of your life. Because the chosen people will always appreciate you, no matter how you feel or how you are at that moment. And, you know, being able to see that from people around me, like, it generally opened up my eyes to see how people actually care about me. And it's something I never thought of. It's something that took me a long time to realize because of that self-hatred I had those years ago, and it feels good to be honest about it. It generally feels good to be open about it. Like, even if I'm, like, completely 100% healed from all of this, depression is never an easy topic to talk about, and we need to talk about it a lot more so that way people don't have to suffer alone. Like, we all need to talk about this together. We all need to be more self-aware of how much mental illnesses and depression can really destroy and hurt a person. And I want to be able to use my platform to show how much it can hurt, that you feel like you would always be alone and no one's there for you, but people are there. And it does take a good bit to realize that, but when you do realize that, it's the most beautiful thing a person can feel. And it just makes you feel great to be alive and not wish for yourself to disappear or worse, you know. So it'll never be an easy subject to talk about, but like I said, the more that we talk about it, the more people will come to understand. And, you know, in the past I would be like, why are you crying like this? It's so unnecessary, but I'm glad I was able to be more open about how I've been feeling. And I am forever grateful for the lovelies who have understand how I felt, and I hope my experiences can kind of resonate and hopefully help others who are struggling, whether it be with depression or a huge state of anxiety, because I do have a heavy amount of anxiety and that does coincide with depression. And I hope my message can hopefully help out somebody or anyone who's struggling with what I'm struggling with, and just take it one step at a time. These sorts of things do take time to heal. It's never easy, but the journey to recovery will always be worth it. And having people who care about you or always be willing to listen to you, it does take time to really gain that 100% of trust to people. And I do generally have people that I trust, and I'm really grateful for that. And find things to do that make you happy, even at the moment where it kind of just seems so bleak and hopeless. Just do small things to really help just develop to have a more positive mindset. Like for me, I actually got back into like painting. Like I did like watercolor, or mostly like traditional stuff, which I haven't done in a while. I did like watercolor, I think I did like marker, like color pencil, and it felt good to just 100% get back into drawing again, because also for the longest time, because of that state that I was in, it was really hard to be really passionate about a lot of things, but I've been getting back into art and I've been really satisfied with it. And also, like I said before, I've been, you know, sitting down and just taking my mind off of things and watching series. And I mean, it could be like anything simple. I just choose to pick the ones that really make you think. But I really love those type of shows, so I really liked watching Paranormal Agent a lot, and that's something I'm definitely gonna be talking about. And just reading a bunch of new like series. Like recently, what did I get recently? Of course I was continuing reading like His Cat or whatever it's called. His Cat, his it's about like an old man who gets a cat. It's a really cute series. And also Therapy Game, which is like a boys' love story. Or just like pick up like a new hobby or something. It's, you know, or just like get out and just like go hiking, because hiking, that nice fresh air really helps too. Just anything that really gets your mind off of things for a bit, like sort of disconnect from the things that can hurt you or just really impact you in a negative way. Because that's why I had to take a little bit of a break from social media because of it, because some things, like, I love places like Twitter and YouTube and stuff, but sometimes it can get a little bit too much, and it's not a bad thing to disconnect for once in a while. And I've been, you know, playing it, you know, being safe, playing it safe, you know, always wear a mask and stuff, and just going out to places and just broadening your horizons whenever you can. I would just like suggest like going hiking and stuff, because you can really see some really beautiful stuff out there too. And I think that's all I can really offer. And it feels good to make this video. You know, we had our cries. Like I said, even if I'm completely recovered from this years later, this sort of thing will never be easy to talk about. But like I said, we need to talk about this sort of thing more. And we need to realize that it's okay to feel sad and not push this agenda that crying or being sad is a sign of weakness and that you're a worthless, weak person. That's not what it should ever be like. It should just be a state of realizing that you just kind of needed to break down a bit, and that's okay. You have your limits, and we need to cry sometimes. We need to just sit back and just, you know, cry for a couple of hours. That's not a bad thing at all. And I do suggest people to go to places like therapy if it does get worse. Last year I spent a good of last year in therapy, and it does help. And I was maybe contemplating going back again this year, but I was able to realize what was wrong with me and how I just needed to reflect, and I did, and I just need to be more open about my feelings, even if it is hard. You need to realize that it's for yourself, and that's not a selfish thing at all. And yeah, so I think that's all I can really give. I definitely want to make more videos like this, being able to talk about very touchy subjects like depression. But like I said, it's something that needs to be talked about, because if we don't talk about it, then nobody will ever understand it. So it is hard, trust me, it's really hard. But yeah, I honestly don't know what else to say. This is also just like an update saying that, you know, I'm doing a lot better. I've been doing a lot better. And yeah, I'm able to, you know, laugh a lot more again, being able to be a little bit more creative again, because I just took in the time to just step back and just realize what I needed for myself. And I just need a little bit more time. And I'm hopefully going to be back whenever I feel like I'm ready for it. And also, I just want to say just thank you for the endless support. I may not be active and respond a lot on social media right now, but I do see the messages that people have sent to me, and I'm truly forever thankful for the lovelies that stick by me and believe me and understand me. And whatever you're going through, I'll stand by you too. I promise. And that's all that's it. I don't know what else to say. But thank you. Thank you for being the lovelies that you are, and thank you for just understanding. Well, a lot of people in the past would never understand what I was going through or what I have been going through. I have so many people that do understand what I'm going through, and all you lovelies understand, and it feels good. It feels good to actually be validated and feel like that you do matter, and all of you matter. You're all doing great with all that is happening right now. It is a big struggle, but the more that we work together, the more that we can get through all this and help each other out no matter what. So I think that's all. You guys are wonderful and lovely, and please do rest up whenever you can, and just keep being you, because you're the best person that's out there. And I'll see you when I return, and I hope I can make you lovely smile. But first I need to make myself smile just a bit more again. So take care, lovelies. Remember to wear your masks whenever you're out and about, and just take care of yourself. You matter. You all matter. Peace, my lovelies. I forgot how to do it. I forgot how to do my little thing. It's peace. Later.